Hey, have you been shopping for a home in Florida and you're wondering why the property taxes are all over the place? Well, I'm here to explain that for you. My name is Tanya Lockamy. I am the broker of Swan City Realty here in Lakeland. So basically, it's a little complicated. Let's put it that way, but not so much. So you basically have what's called a homestead exemption in Florida. That homestead exemption is a way of protecting the value and the tax and way of saving you taxes on your home if that's your primary residence or your primary home. So this wouldn't apply to a landlord. This wouldn't apply to somebody who has a vacation home down here. This is going to apply to somebody who's this is their primary home. So let's say that your primary home is valued at $350,000 by the property appraiser. The homestead exemption is going to reduce the value of that property, the taxable value of that property by $50,000. So it reduces the value from 350 to 300, which obviously decreases your property taxes. Along with the property taxes homestead exemption, you also have what's called Save Our Homes. And with Save Our Homes, that savings, you're going to be capped every year. So basically, let's say that your home was worth, the taxable value of your home was worth $350,000. With Save Our Homes, it's capped at either 3% or the consumer price index, whichever is less. So let's say that the consumer price index only went up 1.5% this year. Then your home value can only be increased by 1.5% by that property appraiser. So that's huge. But here's the bigger part of that. That accumulates year over year over year, and you get to carry that with you when you move to another home in Florida. So let's say that you live over at 123 Banana Street and you've lived there for 10 years, and now you decide this house is too little. We're moving to 456 Orange Street. When you move to 456 Orange Street, you're going to port or take that Save Our Home savings with you, and that's called portability. So those three things together alone will definitely affect the value of your property taxes, and that's why you'll see such starkly different numbers from home to home. In addition to that, when's the last time that home sold? Let's go back to 123 Banana Street. Let's say that you were thinking about buying that house that they just moved out of. They've lived there 10 years and they've been accumulating that savings over 10 years. Your property taxes are not going to be the same as their property taxes, especially if you're moving from out of state and don't have any portability. So and then one last thing is also in Florida, we have what's called CDDs or community development districts. Sometimes you'll hear these referred to as bonds. These are also listed and added to your property tax bill as a line item called a non-ad valorem tax. Some communities have these, most communities don't. This is a way for the developer to basically borrow money, and then the homeowners are basically paying it back in the form of a bond. This is way more complex. I'm not going to get into all the details of a CDD, but just know that the CDD line item can also affect the value of your taxes. So here's what I'd recommend. Don't pay a lot of attention to what the property taxes are on a home, and especially don't make a decision from one house to another based solely on property taxes, because when you buy that house, that's all going to be reassessed. I would highly recommend that you talk to your real estate agent and explain your concerns to them. Also, just know that most of the county websites have calculators on them where you can go in and put in that purchase price and whether or not you have portability, and it'll actually give you an idea of what the new property taxes are going to be. If you have any questions in the meantime, I'd be happy to help. Talk to you soon.